in the long run. Let me ask you some
Uh-huh.
advice to put on your profound hat.
Uh-huh.
What there's a bunch of young folks that listen to this thing for no good reason whatsoever.
Uh-huh.
Undergraduate students, maybe high school students, maybe just young
Uh-huh.
folks, young at heart, looking
Hmm.
for uh, the next steps to take in life. What advice would you give to a young person today
Well,
about life, maybe career, but also life in general?
get good at some stuff. Well, get to know yourself, right? Like, get
Yeah.
good at something that you're actually interested in. You have to love what you're doing to get good at it. You really got to find that. Don't waste all your time doing stuff that's just boring or bland or numbing, right? Don't let old people screw you. Well, people get talked into doing all kinds of shit and racking
Yeah.
up huge
Yeah.
student debts, and like there's so much crap going on.
And it drains your time and drains
The
your
Eric
energy.
Weinstein, thesis that the older generation won't let go,
Yeah.
and they're trapping all the young people and
You think
throwing
there's
them
some
in.
truth to that?
Yeah, sure.
There is.
Well, just because you're old doesn't mean you stop thinking. I know lots of really original
Yeah.
old people. I'm an old person, so um, but you have to be conscious about it. You can fall into the ruts and then do that. I mean, when I hear young people spouting opinions that sounds like they come from Fox News or CNN, I think they've
Right.
been captured by groupthink and memes and
As
stuff.
opposed to
And
thinking on their own.
so if you find yourself repeating what everybody else is saying, you're not going to have a good life.
Mm.
Like that's not how the world works. It seems safe, but it puts you at great jeopardy for being boring or unhappy. Or
How long did it take you to find the thing that you have fun with?
I don't know. I've been a fun person since I was pretty little.
So everything
I've gone through a couple periods of depression in my life.
for good reason or for the
Yeah,
reason
probably.
that's doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Like some things are hard. Like you go through mental transitions in high school. I was really depressed for a year, and I think I had my first midlife crisis at 26. I kind of thought, is this all there is? Like I was working at a job that I loved, but I was going to work and all my time was consumed.
What's the escape out of that depression? What's the answer to is this all there is?
Well, a friend of mine, I asked him because he was working his ass off. I said, "What's your work-life balance?" Like there's, work, friends, family, personal time. Are you balancing in that? And he said, work 80%, family 20%. And I try to find some time to sleep. Like there's no personal time. There's no passionate time.
Hmm.
Like young people are often passionate about work. So, and I was certainly like that. But you need to have some space in your life for different things.
And that creates that makes you resistant to the whole the dip the deep dips into depression kind of thing.
Yeah, well, you have to get to know yourself too. Meditation helps. Something physically intense helps.
Like the weird places your mind goes kind of
Yeah.
thing.
And why does it happen? Why do you do what you do?
Like triggers, like the things that cause your mind to go to different places kind of thing, or
Well,
like events like
your
triggering.
upbringing, for better or worse, whether your parents are great people or not, you come into adulthood with all kinds of emotional burdens,
Yeah.
and you can see some people are so bloody stiff and restrained, and they think the world's fundamentally negative, like you maybe that you have unexplored territory,
Yeah.
or you're afraid of something.
Definitely afraid of quite a few things.
But
You
then you got to go face them. Like what's the worst thing that can happen? You're going to die, right?
Yeah.
Like that's inevitable. You might as well get over that. Like 100% death rate. Like people are worried about the virus, but the human condition is pretty deadly.
There's something about embarrassment that's I've competed a lot in my life, and I think the if I'm too introspective, the thing I'm most afraid of is being like humiliated, I
Really,
think.
and nobody cares about that. Look, you're the only
In
person on the planet that
exactly.
cares about you being
Yeah,
humiliated.
exactly.
It's like a really useless thought.
It is.
It's like it's like
uh,
you're all humiliated. Something happened in a room full of people, and they walk out and they didn't think about it one more second. Or maybe somebody told a funny story to somebody else
and
that
then
didn't
it
care either.
dissipates it throughout. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
No, I know it too. I mean, I've been really embarrassed about shit that nobody cared about myself.
Yeah.
It's a funny thing.
So the worst thing ultimately is just, yeah,
Yeah, but that's a cage, and then you have to get out of it.
yeah.
Like here's the thing: once you find something like that, you have to be determined to break it, because otherwise you'll just so you accumulate that kind of junk, and then you die as you know a mess.
So the goal, I guess, it's like a cage within a cage. I guess the goal is to die in the biggest possible cage.
Well, ideally, you'd have no cage.
Wow.
People do get enlightened. I've met a few. It's great.
You found a few? There's a few out there? I don't know.
Of course, there are. Either that or they have, it's a great sales pitch. There's like enlightened people write books and doing all kinds of stuff.
It's a good way to sell a book. I'll give you that.
You've never met somebody you just thought they just kill me. Like they just like mental clarity, humor.
No, 100%. But I just feel like they're living in a bigger cage. They have their own.
You still think there's a cage.
There's still a cage.
You secretly suspect there's always a cage.
There's nothing outside the universe.
There's nothing outside the cage.